What's up guys, it's Chadlantis. Today's stream was actually pretty awesome because we were able to play Titanfall 2 a day earlier than the open beta started. The game itself is really fun because you can have a lot of movement patterns that are really freaking fast paced and actually pretty complicated. It actually makes it so that the game's skill tier is really high, especially based on movement patterns. So you have to really know the maps, know exactly what routes you would take, and do really high skill required mechanical plays of just jumping really rapidly across the map. It's actually really cool because it makes you feel kind of like the people out of Attack on Titan, because you're zipping and winging all over the freaking map, except instead of fighting these vicious Titan monsters, you're fighting against other big robots. And you can actually get on a robot yourself sometimes. Unfortunately, I personally wasn't able to play the first Titanfall game, so I don't really know how to compare it to the original. But all I know is that this game is actually really fun. Now with that said though, you do need to make sure that this is part of your own desire of fun. For me, the movement speed and movement patterns and all that mechanical play for the movement itself is exactly what I love in a video game. However, every other aspect of the video game was not really up to my expectations for what I want to do. The gunplay is pretty fast paced and basically feels like a COD game, which I personally am bored of at this point. I've been playing COD games for forever, and this game feels basically like a COD or a Battlefield. Honestly, it felt a lot like Battlefield 2142, which a lot of people hated. I actually really enjoyed it, but again, I've been there, I've done it. I want to do something new. It's a big reason why I've enjoyed Destiny lately, because it feels kind of like Halo, but has a lot of the MMO aspects for gear grinding and gear setups. Therefore, it feels like a new experience because you're doing like Halo mechanics with an MMO set of gear like setups and builds. So the gunplay is good and solid, and I think they did a wonderful job in it. It's just that for me, it's not super fun because I've already been there and done that. It feels just like the previous CODs, some other Battlefield games, and what I saw in the first Titanfall. In regards to Titans versus Titan combat with their big robots, it is pretty fun, but overall it's a pretty simplistic system. All the projectiles are actually pretty slow, so you actually have time to dodge them all with your like boost to the left or right in some kind of direction that you need to choose. Only very few are very fast, like an instant beam cannon or something. And even if you don't dodge it, pretty much every Titan can have a shield to block that damage. And you wait until they run out of ammo, they have to reload, and then you start shooting them, and then they can't shield while reloading. So you just basically just look at the formula, see what the enemy person has done already, let them hang their own neck, and then you capitalize after a reaction of them using up their resources. That system is pretty cool because it becomes more of a mind game than anything. However, personally, I much prefer the mech system of Mech Assault back in the original Xbox days. From my past experience, I actually recently played it as well. I really freaking enjoy the mech-to-mech combat in Mech Assault, whereas the mech combat for Titanfall 2 is kind of lackluster in comparison. So the person-to-person combat is basically a washed-up system that I'm bored of. The mech-to-mech combat is basically not as good as I prefer from the Mech Assault franchise. The pilot-to-mech system and the vice versa mech-to-pilot system is really more of a cheese game. The pilot's job is to move as fast as possible and not get shot down by the mech, and or hide behind cover and just poke out to do a giant Spartan laser at the mech and then poke back down behind cover before the mech can shoot them down. And just constantly do that and just hope that another player doesn't shoot you in the back while you're doing so. Or if you're the mech fighting another player, you kind of just have to deal with this like pesky gnat constantly harassing you. It's like dealing with an annoying brother the entire time, which is not fun for me. Gameplay wise, the game is very fluid, which is really awesome. The frame rate's pretty solid. Graphically, it's fairly beautiful. It's not the best game out there, but it's fairly beautiful. And like I said before, the movement system, which is the basis of the game, is very, very freaking fun. Overall, I did enjoy the experience because it was a little new to me and I was able to have fun with the movement system. It got to the point where by the end of the stream, I kind of just started moving around, just rapidly running around the map and didn't really worry about the objective very much. Speaking of the objective, a part of the reason why I didn't really enjoy the game, obviously there's only like 2 maps because it's a beta, but also there are 3 game types, which were really 2 game types. Because Team Deathmatch, nobody ever queued in that, so nobody could ever find a game in it. Bounty is basically the Dark Zone from The Division, where you gotta just grind constant ads, get money from killing the ads that are really easy to fight and they barely do damage to you. And then after a certain time period, you call them waves, you'll go into like a bank thing, which is 2 on 1 of each corner of the map, and cash in the money you've earned by killing random ads or by damaging mechs. or by killing other players. And when you kill another player, you take half of the money that they currently owned. It's a pretty cool, unique idea for the game, but what it basically turned out to is people rarely went to the other side of the other team's map, because if they did go to the other side of the map, they would just get team shot by the enemy team all sitting there camping and farming ads. It was very rare that would be in a game where both teams were constantly going back and forth between each side throughout the game. It was almost always one side was this team and the other side was this team. And then when you go and cash out, you have to just hope to God that you don't get killed on your way, because people could just sneak in and then just camp on the bank and then just shoot people when they're trying to cash out. So if you go up right next to it, hold a button to send your money to the bank. So people would just like sit there, camp, kill people going to the bank, and then just take their money and cash out themselves for their own team. It's a game that was especially lame because there's a lot of times I was really trying really hard to go kill other players, get their money to cash out with, but I would lose almost every single game playing that way while having 30 plus kills per game. Everybody else in like second, third, fourth place for kills were barely breaching 20. Most people were like a single digits to early teens. But I realized that the best way of playing the game is just grinding out ads on one side of the map with your team and just cashing out freely. It was actually pretty lame after a while, so I didn't really enjoy playing that very much. And then the third game type was domination, so basically 3 capture zones on the map. Capture as many zones as you can, and the more zones you have captured, the more points you get for your team. What that game type basically turned out being was everybody on one team would dominate for the most part and then just spawn trap the enemy team. And then one person would go on like some kind of Black Seal suicide mission to go to the other side of the map and sneak around, try to capture a point and distract the enemy team to relieve pressure for his team to be able to capture a point. You guessed it. I was the Black Seals guy trying to distract the other team, because every time I tried fighting with my team to capture a point back forcefully, it never would really work, because I was going head on against like 3 or 4 enemy team players all the time, and my team would be constantly dying, and then we're not capturing a point. And it's really easy to shoot at people with capturing points because you have to be standing right next to that point to capture it, and every single point's always out in the open. So everybody just like sits off on the side and then just shoots at anybody trying to capture the point. So everybody just spawn camping, spawn trapping, and then people randomly would just be like me, trying to go on a Black Seals mission, hope to God they don't get spotted along the way. Probably end up dying for it, but at least they relieve pressure for the team in hopes that they actually be able to make a push back. That game type I also always got 30 plus kills on when I tried really hard, and I usually would lose anyway. I got pretty drawn out of the game when I realized that my kills weren't really that important for the game. A lot of my efforts as a single player really meant nothing. So with that in mind, I probably would have enjoyed the game more if I was able to play with friends of mine who can coordinate, strategize a little bit. So I'd really love to play the game during the open beta that's coming out right now, actually, so I can try experiencing that to see if I would enjoy the game a little bit more. So with that yet to be tested, that I don't know what the future would hold with whether or not I really enjoy the game enough to actually buy it, but I do know I still really love Destiny, still going to be playing that a lot. Speaking of which, I am going to be playing Trials of Cyrus today on whatever map it may be. We'll know by the time that this vlog comes out, but I'll be doing it all throughout the day with viewers, and I'll be doing that charity block. And that charity block for that I'm a part of is 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, and that'll go for 1.5 hours. So I'll be ending at midnight Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Pacific time. Again, if you want information for that charity, or go to that stream that's going to be having that live 24 hours, I'll have that in the description below, or check out my stream during my blocked off time. If you want to try out Titanfall 2 for yourself, which I think a lot of people actually will enjoy this game, it just wasn't really for me from what I've experienced. Again, we'll try it out when I have friends I can coordinate with and communicate and strategize with. Definitely check it out. The open beta is actually live for this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and next weekend's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that is for Xbox One and PS4. Completely free, just go and install it. You should be able to get it through your store within your console. Let me know what you think of Titanfall 2 and what your thoughts are, if you agree with me, if you disagree. If so, either way, let me know why. Looking forward to seeing you all for that charity stream. As a quick reminder, I will not be streaming on Saturday, which is August 20th. I'll be out of town for my friend's party who's moving into a new house. With that said, I might not have a vlog up on Sunday because I'll probably be getting back in town just in time to start my trial stream for Virgin Carry Day. I will still have my vlog up on Saturday though for the Trials map rundown for general tips and strategies. So looking forward to that. See you in the live stream. Thank you so much for being you. And thank you as always, citizens, for watching.